In this video, we'll look at the role of transparency in property repair bidding and why being upfront about the reasons for your property repair bids are needed. A property showing transparency is a sign of respect for your vendor's time and helps you build strong and trusting partnerships with your vendors. If you're new to my channel, my name is Rodivia Brigham and I'm the CEO and founder of Proposabid, a done-for-you white glove service provider specializing in sourcing 4 or more competitive apples-to-apples bids and estimations for property repairs, regardless if they're single-family homes, multifamily properties, or commercial spaces. On this channel, I'll teach you how to source bids and estimations for property repairs, and my goal is to help you save time, cut costs, and make confident, financially sound decisions for all of your property repairs. Now, in our last video, we discussed how not reaching out to enough vendors and lacking a clear way to ask for bids can make property repairs more difficult and costly. In this video, we're talking about why being clear and honest about the reasons for your request for property repair bids is so important. Because transparency builds trust, saves time, and costs a lot less money. And here are the objectives for this video. Being clear about the purpose of a bid request is essential for properties and vendors. Vendors put a lot of time and effort into preparing bids, and they deserve to know if a project is real, when the work will happen, or if the request is simply for a price comparison. The honesty in price comparisons without a vendor being rewarded work is really important. Honest communication about the timeline and the intent of a bid helps vendors stay engaged and motivated to provide their best proposals. When properties fail to explain the true purpose of requesting a bid, such as if the project won't be awarded or isn't scheduled until later on in the year, vendors may feel misled or even tricked. This lack of transparency can damage trust, reduce vendor participation in future bids, and lead to lower quality responses. Over time, it becomes harder to foster strong, reliable vendor relationships. Transparency doesn't just build trust, it ensures better results when the project does move forward. Now, before we get started, I'd like to look at some facts to understand the problem. 54% of business leaders believe transparency is the most important factor in supplier quality, according to a 2020 Dole survey. A 2023 study also found that 63% of suppliers are more likely to engage with clients who provide clear and honest communication during the bidding process. However, the risks of poor transparency are significant, with 47% of vendors report that they have withdrawn from bid opportunities due to a lack of perceived clarity or honesty. This shows how critical it is for properties to clearly communicate the purpose, timeline, and expectations of their bid requests. And these are some of the key questions we'll be addressing in the next few slides. And we'll take a deeper look at each of these questions and provide clear answers to help you better understand the importance of open and honest communication during the bidding process. Transparency in bid requests has a direct and profound impact on the entire bidding process, as outlined here. When staff are responsible for handling every step, reaching out to vendors to compare bids and awarding contractors, hiding the true intent of a bid request can create unnecessary challenges. If a bid request lacks clarity, such as failing to disclose that the work won't happen until much later in the year, or worse, that there's no intent to award for the project, it can lead to confusion and wasted effort on both sides. Vendors may submit bids that don't reflect their best work, making it harder for staff to evaluate proposals and secure competitive offers. This can result in more corrections, delays, and frustrations throughout the process. By being transparent about the actual purpose of the bid can prevent unnecessary confusion and streamline your workflow. Vendors will know exactly what to expect, allowing them to submit high-quality, relevant bids. In turn, this reduces inefficiencies and ensures the entire process runs more smoothly and effectively. In the upcoming slides, we'll dive into the true costs of unclear or misleading bid requests. We'll explore requests made solely for price checking, lost trust from vendors, creating confusion, and then we'll break down how these issues impact your ability to get competitive, high quality bids. When there's no clear purpose for bid requests, it creates a range of problems. Vendors may reduce their effort, leading to lower quality bids. And this makes it harder to get competitive pricing or reliable proposals. The lack of clarity also impacts vendor participation on your projects in the long term, and they may choose not to participate in future opportunities. This reduces the pool of available vendors, limiting competition and driving up your costs. Being upfront about why bids are needed and what the timeline or intent is also helps avoid these challenges. One critical aspect of transparency is avoiding the fishing expeditions. This is where bids are requested with no intention of awarding a project. By being upfront about the purpose of a bid and the intention to not award can foster trust with vendors. They may still take the time to invest resources into crafting high quality bids, and the property can then maintain a pool of engaged and committed suppliers. When the bidding process is honest and straightforward, vendors are more likely to put their best effort into their proposals. In the next slides, we'll explore how transparency strengthens these relationships and prevents unnecessary frustration for all parties involved. When bids are requested solely for price checking with no intention of awarding a project, this is still in the category of fishing for bids, as it wastes valuable time and resources for vendors. Vendors spend significant effort preparing detailed bids, and such practices can damage the property's reputation and the vendor community. Because vendors talk, and if they feel their efforts are being taken for granted, word can spread, making it harder to attract high-quality vendors in the future. Transparency is about the intent of the bid requesting to maintain strong and reliable relationships. By avoiding pricing-only bids and focusing on genuine opportunities, properties can build trust and encourage vendors to invest their time and effort, leading to better proposals. Honest and clear communication ensures vendors understand expectations. In fact, research reveals that 94% of consumers, including those in business-to-business relationships, are more loyal to brands that prioritize complete transparency. The financial consequences of reduced vendor engagement can also be significant. A lack of transparency often results in fewer competitive bids, and disengaged vendors force properties to spend more time and resources repeatedly finding and onboarding new suppliers. Transparency isn't just essential for building trust, it's critical for long-term financial success and operational stability. When procurement processes prioritize cost over quality due to low bid responses, a range of issues can arise, ultimately compromising performance and trust within the vendor community. Low quality bids often leads to subpar performance, as contractors cut corners to reduce costs, resulting in delays and inferior project outcomes. Suppliers may resort to using cheaper materials to maintain profit margins, which can compromise the overall quality of the work. Additionally, the emphasis on cost cutting leaves little room for innovation, as vendors lack the resources to invest research, development, or new technologies. A low bid environment can also drive away top-tier vendors. High-quality suppliers may avoid bidding due to high costs of the bidding process. This discourages experienced and qualified contractors while attracting unqualified bidders who may lack the skills to deliver successful outcomes. Transparency in procurement is the key to encouraging high-quality repair bids, and it builds strong vendor relationships. When vendors clearly understand the genuine purpose of a bid request, they're more likely to invest effort and detail into their proposals. Knowing that their work is valued and seriously considered motivates them to submit higher quality bids, leading to better project outcomes and stronger pools of reliable vendors for the property. Clear and open communication also strengthens long-term partnerships. Vendors are more inclined to engage consistently with those who demonstrate respect for their time and expertise. A transparent process ensures everyone is aligned and working towards the same goal. benefiting both vendors and properties alike for a smoother workflow. A level playing field for all qualified vendors drives innovation and competitive pricing. It optimizes costs by ensuring contracts are awarded based on merit, resulting in better financial outcomes. To maintain transparency, adopt best practices such as clearly defining the purpose of each bid request and encouraging two-way feedback on the bids you do receive. By following these steps, you will create an environment that motivates vendors to deliver their best work while building mutually beneficial long-term partnerships. All of the information shared in this discussion is backed up by research and real-world examples. For those interested in exploring further, I've included a list of references that provide deeper insights into the topics covered. Feel free to review these resources to gain a more detailed understanding of how these strategies can make a significant impact on all of your repair bid projects. If you enjoyed this video, then check out the next one, where I break down the wide variance in repair costs and the key reasons behind these price differences, how to spot a fair bid, and ways to avoid overpaying. And don't forget to scan the QR code for your free strategy call to explore how you can prevent losses, save millions, and focus on what matters most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.